3 years ago, we were just beginning to see the devastation from the Marshall Fire in Boulder County. Today, survivors of the fire still question the lingering effects on their health. The massive blaze burned more than 1,000 homes and other buildings and forced 37,000 people to evacuate. Now, a first-of-its-kind study from the University of Colorado discovered those who found ash inside their homes were 3 times as likely to report headaches compared to those who didn't find any ash. Researchers also found the air quality in one home 6 months after the fire equaled a high-pollution day in Los Angeles. Sarah Horbakowitz is your reporter in Boulder and joins us live tonight. And Sarah, there are still concerns for many people in that community.
Yeah, definitely. While many people here in Louisville have been able to rebuild, there are still concerns from people who had partial damage to their homes as they're still struggling to move back home. Now they're hoping this new CU study will help with their struggles with insurance. After 30 years in Louisville, in 2021, the Marshall Fire came to Deborah Mordecai's doorstep. Her fenced-in yard gave firefighters a chance to stop the spread.
It might have been the house that saved the neighborhood, but we haven't saved my home.
Now, as she watches neighbors rebuild, her home is still standing empty.
So it's what you can't see, really.
Yeah, and it's what you're seeing, but it's also in the walls. So even if you wipe it and paint it, you're still breathing it in here.
When experts came to test her home, she says results showed the smoke and water damage made the house unsafe. So she moved out. She says insurance still hasn't agreed to pay for repairs and stopped paying for rent elsewhere.
My son has asthma, so whenever he comes by, I know he goes home and he, has some issues. I cough a lot, and I sit in meetings and I wind up coughing.
Those symptoms match up with a new study from CU Boulder showing more than half of people who could return home reported things like headaches and sore throats, likely due to poor air quality. A study Colorado Representative Kyle Brown hopes can push for legal change.
This is not going to be the last time that Colorado experiences a devastating wildfire.
And he's planning to address it in next month's legislative session.
We're going to continue to push on the health and safety aspects of standing homes to make sure that we are getting folks back and that we are setting appropriate health and safety standards and insurance standards as well.
Meanwhile, survivors like Deborah are hoping that change comes soon.
And that we don't have people and children in 30 years that have cancer that they look back and say, oh, we should have taken action.
Now, Deborah did tell me she is working with an attorney to get money from her insurance provider. We ran into her neighbor today as well, whose house is rebuilt, and they said they had no idea it could be harder to have your house still standing. Reporting in Louisville, Sarah Horbakowitz, covering Colorado First.
And just an incredibly difficult situation for everyone impacted by that fire. Sarah, thank you. Sarah is your reporter in Boulder and Broomfield counties. If you have a story idea for her, give her a call on our tips line. That number 303-863-TIPS, or you can email her through cbscolorado.com.